Hi, welcome. Thank you so much for joining in. Wish that we could all be together, but since we can't, we'll do it virtually. Today I'm going to be cooking or demonstrating the quick cooker salsa chicken lettuce wraps. And the main tool with this, we'll be using the quick cooker. And think of this as a pressure cooker. If you remember, I know my mom had an old-fashioned pressure cooker. The little thing sat on top and rocked and made a bunch of noise, and I was scared to death of it because it seemed like it was so hot and just scary. So now this is not hot on the inside, and let me show you the top. So on the top, we have a little red pop-up button that shows you it's under pressure, and then away from you is the steam release valve and also a quick release. So again, just with safety in mind, so it keeps the hot steam away from you. I wanted you to see that on the inside, I have a ceramic pot, and if it were hot, I'd be using my mini oven mitts, which are silicone, and just perfect for me because I'm not exactly the most coordinated person, and big heavy oven mitts and I don't always get along. But at any rate, if this were hot, you'd want to use the mitts or something to lift this bowl out. I'm actually not going to be using it today, but what I have done and really enjoyed is like for a pot roast dinner, having the pot roast and the vegetables in the bottom, and then the potatoes, cooking this, which sits on top. So basically, once everything's loaded up, you just push the dial, turn the dial, and you're done. You walk away, and a short time later, it's all done. And I used the mix and chop to just, manually make mashed potatoes. It's also been great for making rice. Again, all at one time, so makes for a super quick and easy meal. This is a stainless steel 6-quart pot, so it's a pretty big capacity. And this goes in the dishwasher, so when you're all done, you can just throw it in the dishwasher if you want, although it's easy to wash, so usually I just let it soak for a few minutes and wash it. So, this comes with 16 pre-programmed settings. Might be a little hard to see, but at any rate, super easy to use and just makes for meals to be so much quicker. The other thing that's kind of cool is that you can put frozen meat in the cooker, which kind of worked out because I forgot to take my chicken out, the chicken breast. So I'll be using frozen chicken breasts. Don't know if you can see them, but they're frozen. So anyway, we'll go ahead and get started. I'll show you some of the tools I'll be using. Some I'll use, once I close this up. I'll take a picture when I take it out, but I won't bore you with, sitting on your video while it's cooking. But at any rate, this is the small mix scraper, and I love these. I mean, they're just so great. Have you ever had the spatulas that, the handle comes out and you're constantly putting it back in, or the edges start to get chewed up and you have to wonder where the chewed up part goes? Well, it went into your food. So that doesn't happen. There's a whole collection. This is the small scraper, but there's a large one, a whole collection of regular scrapers. So that'll be something I'll use. Also, I'm loving these large chef tongs. Just do that, and that closes it back up. So basically, this won't jam up your drawer. And I don't know if you can see, but the slots on the end are also great for picking up items and having the liquid drain away. So I'll be using this. After the chicken is done, I'll be using the salad chopper, and even though it's called a salad chopper, which is kind of interesting because it's a really heavy duty chopper with like little grooved edges on the blade, you know, so you don't get the food stuck to it. But this is really cool, really helpful for chopping up the cooked meat. So use that for lots of things. We'll be using that. And of course the garlic press. Oh my gosh, this is something everybody has to have if you like garlic. Honestly, I've even used it for ginger. So you can use it for ginger and horseradish, but it does come, as you can see, there's like a little, kind of like a little brush tool on the inside, just so it just stores here in the handle so you don't lose it. But the cool thing about that is you just then push it in the bottom, you know, to clean it out basically, and then use this little end to scrape off so you don't, you know, mess up the finish basically. And then with this, you just put the whole garlic clove in. You don't have to peel it. So that's also especially nice. So we'll be using that. Southwest seasoning mix. I have never been disappointed with a Pampered Chef seasoning. They're always awesome. My favorite used to be dill, but I'm really using this a lot lately. I've been making my homemade tacos using this instead of buying a taco mix. I've got my adjustable measuring spoon, which is super handy because there's so many, this takes the place of so many different spoons. And keep in mind, a lot of this stuff really would be awesome for campers. If you or someone you know has camper or goes camping, or you know, someone on a more limited space, especially, you know, college students in dorms, a lot of this would be really helpful for them. I'll be using the adjustable coarse grater, and this is super nice because, as you can see, very adjustable. You can put it how you want it. It has a no skid bottom, so it's not going to slide around. Has a protective sleeve, and I love it. I was amazed at how quickly the cheese grated, and you know, I was out of the pre-packaged grated mix, so it was a lifesaver, and it was just very impressive. I went ahead and put a little block of cheese on here, so when you get to a smaller piece, the holder will save your fingers. But when it's not teeny tiny, I like to just hold it and go for it. I'll be using the utility knife. Comes with a protective cover and stainless steel blade. It's super sharp and a very, very nice tool to have. So last but not least, we got two more things we're going to use. I've already loaded up some salsa here, but this is the mini measure all cup, and you can, if I turned it around, typically that's, you know, you would use that portion, that side, for liquids, and then the part that I have loaded up is typically best for solid sticky things like mayonnaise, peanut butter, just anything like that. And you'll see when I put this in the cooker, you just turn it over and plunge, you know, push the plunger through, and it basically doesn't leave anything on the inside. So it's way easier than scraping out cups, and I know everybody has done that. Also, I'll be using the manual food chopper. You can see that it's clear, so you can kind of very easily see how fine the ingredients are. It's all manual, so you don't need electricity. Again, super nice for small jobs and space saving. It's a lot easier than dragging out the big bulky electric processors, you know, that we've had for just a small job like this. And again, you know, dishwasher safe, not the top, but the rest of it. So now I'm going to go ahead and get started with this recipe, and you'll see how quick it is. What I love about this is I'm going to throw it all in, and then it's an instant meal, and I'll typically make extra, so that maybe, you know, first time the recipe calls for, as an example, just putting the filling in lettuce wraps. So I'll do that initially, and then maybe the next day I'll make enchiladas with tortillas, just as an example. So definitely space saver. So we'll get started. Again, quick cooker, it's empty. And I have frozen chicken. As frozen can be, just about. And little tip on, I have peppers, jalapeno peppers here, that we're going to put in the manual food processor along with some onion. So hopefully you can see this. It's not really anything, not rocket science. I'm just going to throw it in the manual processor. And then I have the pepper, and I used the food prep gloves because I'm kind of a little allergic to peppers or something. And I find that even after I wash my hands, you can still, I mean, I'll still have, the pepper is on my skin, and it'll take a while to really have it not be irritating to me. So give that a couple of cuts. We'll throw that in the processor, and I'll move it in a minute here so you can see what's going on with the processor. Okay, so here's our food processor. I have the lid underneath, but that would also be handy for storage. And you'll have to excuse me. I told you I was sort of allergic to these things. I really am. Goodness. Live video. This is like uncut. This is real life. Okay. So I'm going to unlock the handle and situate this on. And basically, it's a manual pump. And you just, you know, the more you pump it, the finer it's going to be. This doesn't need to be super fun. In my next video, I'm going to make an easy guacamole. And definitely we'll have a little finer, well, a much finer chop on that one. I'm just going to throw this in and go ahead and grab my scraper. That's that. And then we get the salsa. So basically in the quick cooker, you're going to want about a cup of liquid. I'm using a cup of liquid salsa. I'm sorry, not liquid salsa, a cup of salsa. And so that'll take the place of the liquid. And then last but not least, I'm going to put in a couple of tablespoons of the Southwest seasoning mix. And I have to reorder this because that's going to do it. Ah, my heart is breaking. It's been a lifesaver for me. So I've been talking a lot, just showing products, but I probably should have timed that. That was literally, it couldn't have been more than 2 minutes. Now I'm just going to put in some fresh garlic, and it'll be ready to close up and turn it on. And I wish you guys were here, because you'd be eating it. So you put the whole garlic clove in, and do not need to peel it. This one kind of stuck down at the bottom, so I just use that to pull it out. The recipe called for 2, but I never have enough garlic, so I always have to do a little bit more. So we'll do one more, and then I'll be ready to close it up. And for those of you that know me, I do like to bake. When I'm in the mood, I like to bake. But like most or many other people, when it comes to mealtime, I need fast and easy. If it's too late, you know, I'm not in the mood to cook. Or in this case, if I forgot to take the meat out, then we're kind of won't have dinner or go out. So at any rate, here's what it looks like. Just literally the time it took to put uncut frozen chicken breasts, the onion, the garlic, the salsa, the seasoning mix. That's it. So one thing I meant to kind of point out, and I forgot, is that in this case I'm not searing the meat, but if you were here I could show you. If I turn the dial to the selection, this is for searing, and for some of the things I've cooked, I have actually put oil in the pot and let it preheat for a few minutes and then seared the meat before adding everything else and closing it up to cook. So in this case I didn't, but just wanted to point out you can do that. So it's ready to go. I'm gonna grab the lid. I'm not doing anything else in the ceramic pot at this time. So all I do is turn this dial. This particular setting is chicken, poultry, already set. I'll go ahead and push start, and it'll take a few minutes to come up to pressure. You know, it'll cook. Once it's all done, then I'll use my mitts to remove the pot because it'll be hot, and probably will use this classic batter bowl, which is probably another one of my favorite products. I have a lot of favorite products, but at any rate, I do really like this one, and that's when I'll go ahead and chop it up with the choppers. And not only that, but I already have some cilantro cleaned, and the salad chopper is really handy for chopping that up also. And then while it's cooking, I'll go ahead and grate up the cheese, and I'm all set for dinner. I've already washed my lettuce, so that's just how simple dinner will be tonight. And again, I forgot to take out chicken, so ordinarily I would have been in big trouble and not been able to have the meal I wanted to have, but that's it. So again, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. And then I'll post a picture of the finished product, and stay tuned. The next video, I'm going to do the easy guacamole, and after that I think the warm nutty caramel brownies. So stay tuned. Thank you. Linda Liner for Pampered Chef. Bye.